Hi, welcome to episode 10 of The Weekly Wave. I'm Matthew Lyons.
And I'm Aaron Johnson.
And our guest here today is art director, Mr. Mike Dorado. How are you, Mr. Dorado?
I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you so much for letting me be on the podcast here, and it's amazing the growth. You guys have become famous. I remember you were just young children at Frollo, and here you are.
Yeah,
Just
making it
famous
big.
Celebrities.
Yeah.
Hosting our mediocre show.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
All right, so today's episode, we're going to be talking about an art festival that you are
exactly.
directing. Can you tell us a little bit about that, like the dates, when to expect it?
Absolutely. We are going to run, for the first time ever, this art festival. We're going to call it Celebrate the Arts Day. It's going to be on May 8th in the afternoon. It's a Wednesday. It's going to run from about 3:30 to 7:30. There's going to be a lot of components. And then the night is going to kind of finalize, or the day is going to kind of finalize with an open mic night in the auditorium. So it really is going to go on almost till 9 o'clock, and it's going to involve a lot of areas of the arts that go on at the school here.
That's great.
That's awesome. I love how you are incorporating like everything from the sculpture class to the art class to the digital art class to the film club.
Yeah.
Shout out to the film club, by the way. What led to the creation of this? Because you said this is the first one.
Well, I know there are some other districts that do something similar. I live in Scituate, and in Scituate, they always have this day called Spring for the Arts. And every student in the district gets their art displayed at the high school. And then the music program will have some of the bands and some of the chorus groups come in and perform for the parents. I believe it's West Bridgewater does something similar. It's one of the reasons I think I and the art department, when I say I mean the art department, we talked about kind of expanding the art shows we do throughout the year. We're hoping to involve the whole community, not just parents of students who have arts. We wanted to really showcase all the great creative work that goes on here at Abington High School and Abington Middle School. Yeah, so one of the reasons was to grow our annual art show we used to do at the Abington Public Library into something much larger, something that really brings in the whole community, and they'll get to see all the great work that happens here at the high school and middle school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my sister used to be in the library art show, and to see like it evolving into incorporating like sculpture, digital art, photography, it's just awesome. And film club.
Yeah.
Of course, do not forget the film club. Ever.
Yes.
So with all of these different arts, I want to know how you're going to use this brand new school to your advantage. Like what rooms are going to be used?
Absolutely. We always had a library art show. You talked
Yes.
about the library art show. This for us was kind of a highlight of the year. There are also lots of other art shows that happen, but the library art show was kind of our chance to showcase the creative efforts of students in the visual arts classes. The only problem with the library art show, it happened in March, and the reason we did it in March is National Youth Art Month.
Mm-hmm.
So we always wanted to create this way of kind of celebrating the month. The problem with the library show is it was limited in scope because of this wall space. So not every student in the district got a chance to display their artwork.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't like that. We felt like we were excluding a lot of students, and not because we were excluding them because we didn't think their artwork was good enough or whatever.
Right.
It was just
Yeah.
we could only fit so much. So this year, we decided that we were going to use the library in March to highlight all of the work produced in kindergarten through grade 4. So what we did is for 2 weeks we had the Beaver Brook Art Show, and every student at Beaver Brook had a chance to have their artwork displayed. And then we took that down and we put up the Woodsdale Art Exhibit. Same thing, every student had a chance. But it still left out a lot of, the other students, the middle school students, the high school students. Now, we could have used the library and just kept doing that, but we have this beautiful new school with lots of wall space. And the library, again, did only really showcased or highlight the artwork produced in the art classes. But, when you talk about the arts, you can't not talk about music. You can't.
Right.
You can't talk about even like poetry or some of the film club or the sculpture classes, and we could never really display a lot of sculpture because of the space and the fact that it's very fragile. We were always afraid people were going to touch it and break it.
My macaroni art
yeah.
that I made in there.
Yeah. So this school gave us the opportunity. It's like, wow, we have all this space.
Yeah.
So we're going to go crazy. We're going to put up every student in grades 5 through 8 is going to have a piece displayed. Every high school student who wants to have their art displayed will have their art displayed. The film club will have their films displayed, and I've seen a lot of them, and people should see them because they're just wonderful. I mean, I don't know if people in the school even know that there is a film club, and they get a chance to actually make film. By the way, I starred in one.
Yeah.
And it was a great experience.
Yes.
But so this is one of the ways we're using the schools. We're going to try to use the auditorium to show the film club. This is something we couldn't do at the library.
Right.
We're going to display the 3D work, the sculptural work on tables in the hallways and in rooms. We'll have the art rooms open, so if people from the community who've never visited the school can walk around and see what goes on here.
That's awesome.
There's
like
a
a
lot of great
museum.
things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and he has that big like David's sculpture
Yeah.
in the middle of the
Could
lobby.
do that. Yeah.
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
So assuming that this all goes well, which I have no doubt that it will, is this going to replace the art show during the library? Or?
No, not at all. The library loves to have we always use the library. So we're thinking that the library will always maybe host the kindergarten through grade 4. And this school, the Arts Festival. However, going forward, we're hoping that the Arts Festival may include work from kindergarten all the way through grade 12. Now, that would be a massive undertaking because of the amount of students, but it can be done. And if that happens, yes, the library might, we might have a more selective type of show, But again, my goal is and always will be to try to get every student who creates art to be in an art show, to have their work displayed. When we saw the kindergartners who for the first time would see their artwork on a wall amongst everybody else, just the excitement they saw is such a great thing to see as a teacher.
Yeah.
No.
So you just talked about kind of incorporating kindergarten into the festival in the future. Do you have any other future plans for this festival?
Well, this festival, we're finding, when you have this idea, bringing this idea to form involves a lot of people. At the moment, right now, we do know that we have this company that is going to frame and display the artwork produced in grades 5, 6, 7, and 8. Without this company, we could never do it. Now, this company isn't doing it for nothing. We're going to use this as a fundraiser. So parents of students in grades 5 through 8 will have a chance to buy the students' artwork framed. They're not buying the artwork. They're buying the frame. If they choose not to buy the frame, then the artwork goes back to the students. But it gives a chance to come to the art show, see your students' artwork, and actually pick it up and take it home framed.
That's awesome.
And that money is going to go to the PTO. Some of it's going to go to the PTO. We're also going to use any of the money raised for scholarships in the art department, as well as to pay for visiting artists or any kind of other fees that might be beyond what the budget calls for. So
awesome.
This is a way, not only is this company making our lives easier, because if we had to hang up, I believe there's 600 pieces of work. We don't have the space. So the middle school art show is actually going to be in the library. It's going to be all set up on these, I forget, they use some kind of shelving system where everything is displayed. And then the high school stuff is going to get hung up in the hallway going around towards the music room, and the sculpture will be put in. We're hoping to have food. I know we're trying to get students who are in the life skill program, they're going to bake cookies and so on.
Oh, that's nice.
We were hoping to get food trucks,
Whoa.
which
That's
then,
huge.
which
So
was a
exciting.
great
Yeah.
idea, but we find that that actually needs the Board of Health approval. And
Oh, yeah.
so there were a couple of hoops that maybe we're not ready to jump through this year. So we're hoping either to get an ice cream truck. So we're hoping it's a beautiful warm day and people will buy ice cream. So they could, leave the art show and there'll be an ice cream truck out there buying. I talked to the head of the food department, and we're talking about maybe offering food for sale, maybe pizza or hot dogs and hamburgers if people so choose. So we want this, when you go to an arts festival, you go to a music festival, not only is the music and the arts part of it, but there's always a food component.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted this to be a place where you can basically have a sensory experience with your eyes, your ears, and your mouth, and hopefully that covers,
Oh, this is way more complex than I thought.
Yeah. Yeah.
You mentioned like a museum, but this is like an actual festival.
Well, we want this to be kind of almost an open house where people come in. You don't have to stay all day. You come in and just go, oh, let's go up and check out the artwork. And what's also nice is that the middle school students will see what great work the high school produces. You know. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the environment you're creating.
Yeah, so it's fun. As you know, Matt, you had some artwork displayed. I remember in
I
the
did,
art show, a
yes.
self-portrait, or a self-portrait you did. And, we had the library show, but we also had that show in Hingham. So there's
Right.
always art shows. But we want this to be kind of a homegrown, we're hoping that it's just the first annual and of many annuals.
Right.
It's great. I love hearing the plans that's going to be in a couple of years.
Yeah.
This is so exciting. This is
It
awesome.
is. It's we're excited about it. Yeah. I won't say this right now. I feel like there's a big weight on my shoulder until this goes off, but it's exciting. Every day there's something to plan, and
Yeah.
and I like that. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming.
Well, thank you for letting me come on the show and kind of toot my horn here about what's going to happen. So I really appreciate it.
Thanks for watching. Tune in next week to see an all-new episode of The Weekly Wave.
Make sure to follow us on our Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at the Green Wave Gazette.
Thanks for watching.
Goodbye.